Hi, welcome to Games Made Easy. My name is Avinia and this is my cat Peter. Today I'm excited to teach you and give you some tips on how to play Daybreak, designed by Matt Leacock and Matteo Minapatchit. If you're looking for a game that tackles the topic of climate change with a hopeful twist, you found it. Daybreak is a brilliant cooperative engine building game with a unique blend of strategic cooperative play and clever tableau building and deck management. The theme presents an unapologetic but hopeful vision of the near future, where asymmetric world powers work together to decarbonize the global economy. The game's commitment to sustainable plastic-free components aligns nicely with its core message. It's a great challenge trying to beat Daybreak. In this 1-to-4 player game, you play one of 4 world powers: the US, China, Europe, or the all-encompassing majority world. Over a series of rounds, you collectively strive to reach drawdown, a state where you become carbon neutral or negative. Your ultimate goal is to dismantle the engine of global heating and build resilient societies that protect people from escalating crises. Each power comes with its specific energy demands, balance of dirty and clean energy production, and carbon-emitting activities. Play to your strengths and figure out how your power can best contribute to the global effort, and ask what others need from you. After achieving drawdown, if the players survive one more round of global crisis, you collectively win the game. To set up the game, each player picks a world power: United States, China, Europe, or the majority world. Take your player board. It's 5 matching cards, 2 player aids, and 1 energy demand token. This player aid shows your power starting levels for majority world. Place your energy demand token. Place the matching tokens here for your energy output, dirty versus clean, and here for your initial emissions. Here you place your resilience level, and here your current communities in crisis. Keep these 2 player aids near you. They will help you during the game. Keep the remaining emissions, resilience, and communities in crisis tokens in containers on the table. Each world power starts the game with its own unique set of 5 local projects. Above your board are the spaces for your 5 local projects, where you place your starting project cards. You can build and change those projects, but you cannot have more than 5 active local projects at any time. Now it's time to set up the main board. Place it in the middle of the table, accessible to all players. It monitors all 6 planetary effects. Place the corresponding token onto their matching locations: major weather systems, desertification, dieback of the Amazon, loss of Arctic ice, thawing permafrost, and ocean acidification. Put the current round token, clock face up, on the 1. Keep the global project tokens near here. Keep the temperature bands, the planetary effect die, and the geoengineering die thermometer here. Keep all of the components in their trays for easy access. The carbon emissions, which you'll want to keep as low as possible. The trees, seas, and direct air capture levels to sequester carbon, which you'll want as much as possible. Now let's set up the cards. Shuffle the global project cards and place the deck here. These are good for players. Shuffle the global crisis cards and place them near here. These are bad for players. Shuffle and make up the deck of the local project cards. You'll use those to take your actions. Now check the table on page 15 of the rules to see how many trees and oceans you need to put. Today, for a 4-player game, I need 24 trees and 16 oceans, which I place on the main board. Once you've beaten Daybreak a couple of times, you might want to increase the difficulty level. Check page 35 of the rules to decide your difficulty level for 2 or 3-player games, as well as how to use the deck of challenges. I won't use these today, but I recommend you consider them, as they make the game a lot more challenging and varied. Now that everything is set up, the game is played over a maximum of 6 rounds. Each round is divided into 5 distinct stages. In stage 1, the global stage, players hold a global summit to collectively review the upcoming forecast crisis and select a global project. The thermometer shows how many crisis cards you draw. You start the game with 3, 1 of which is face up. Place them here. Crisis cards all have a name and show if they target all players or only some affected players. The effect is explained here, and here is how you can mitigate it. You activate the crisis cards at the end of the round. For now, keep them here. Now, players decide on the global project they will pick. Draw 2 green cards to pick one. All global project cards have a name here and are clearly explained here. They also all have a requirement which must be met before it is activated. Once the players have agreed which one to keep, place it and place the inactive token on it. If during the game you meet the conditions, flip the token to the active side. Once activated, these will have a positive effect for the rest of the game and can help all players to win the game. You can have a maximum of 4 global projects in play. If you ever want to use another one, you would need to discard one of those in play. Put the project you do not pick in a discard pile. Then it's stage 2 of the round, the local stage, when all players simultaneously manage their individual emissions, build resilience, and help other players. Distribute 5 cards from the top of the local project card deck to each player. All cards have a name here, an effect shown and explained here, as well as one or more tags on the top right corner. Each also has a QR code to learn about the card's theme and gameplay. Also, you can refer to your player aid card to see what all the symbols represent. That's your hand for this round, and you should keep it public for all the other players to see. Now, there's 3 main actions you can do with these local project cards, and the first is to take a local action. You activate one of the cards in front of you. So for instance, Civilian Climate Corps, you must discard 1 card from your hand. So for each card you discard, you gain 1 resilience token of your choice. Unless otherwise stated, as long as you can take the action, there is usually no limit to how many times you can play the same action in the turn. When there's a limit, it's a good idea to place a carbon cube on the card to mark you've already activated it, like this. So let me show you the second action, how to support an existing project. These 3 would benefit from having more tags under them. You take a card from your hand underneath a project. This adds the tags on the top right of the cards to that project stack to enhance its power when you activate it. So for instance, you can tuck this card with an infrastructure tag, so now you could gain 2 infrastructure shields instead of 1. And if you were to also tuck this one, you could gain 2 ecological or 3 infrastructure resilience tokens per card you discard. There's no limit to the number of cards you can tuck under other cards or the number of cards you can have in your hand. You can also tuck cards to support global projects. All players can tuck a card from their hand behind a global project card to help meet its requirement. Once the requirement is met, place the token active side face up. Its effects are now in play. Finally, you can tuck cards to reduce the effects of a global crisis card. You can reduce some crisis card effects by tucking local project cards under them if it meets the conditions specified by the crisis card. You cannot tuck cards under face-down crisis cards. Now let me show you the third action, how you start a new project. You can place a new card from your hand on top of an existing project in one of your 5 project spaces. You still keep the tags in play, but you effectively replace the project. The new project is immediately active. Importantly, new projects placed on top inherit all previously accumulated tags from the stack below, making actions stronger as the game progresses. Also, you can use the card you're placing to fulfill the required conditions, like these 2 here. Crucially, you can also start a new project on top of a project you've already played this round. This allows you to play that new project too. It's great if you manage to do this over and over. Now, I'll explain one more action, which is how you discard a card to complete an action. Discard 1 or 2 cards from your hand to pay costs for various actions or to provide immediate benefits as listed on the card. For this action, you cannot discard cards which are already involved in your projects. Later in the game, you may be able to also give cards to other players. If you ever need to draw a card and the deck is empty, just reshuffle the discard pile. Once everyone agrees they don't want or can't take more actions, you can keep cards in your hand to play in the next round. You start the stage 3 of the round, which is emissions stage, where you compare the total world carbon emissions to what you can sequester. Compare your energy demand to the energy you produce. If, like here, it's less, nothing happens. If, however, you produce less than you need, add the difference as communities in crisis tokens here, so 2 more here. Then all the world powers add their current dirty energy to their emissions tokens. So here it's 7 and 11, 18, plus here 13, 17, and 25. Place these 73 carbon cubes in the recent emissions area on the main board. Return to the supply the carbon sequestered by the forests, oceans, and direct air capture tokens on the main board. Here, 25 and 16, so 41. Place the remaining carbon on the lowest available space on the left of the global temperature tracker. Here, for a 4-player game, we added 32 cubes, so we add 1 temperature band and 12 cubes. Check the right-hand side of the thermometer, as you must add an additional crisis card face down as soon as you cross that point, or that point. If later in the game you sequester more carbon than you produce, great news, you've reached drawdown. And if you sequester excess carbon, you take it from the thermometer. This means you could go below a given threshold and return one of the face-down crisis cards. Then it's the stage 4 of the round, the crisis stage, where the planet responds to rising temperatures and other challenges. In the first part, you must roll for planetary effects, once for every temperature band you have placed. Each side represents one global environmental impact and moves one of these markers one step to the right. If you move to an empty space, nothing happens. If, however, you land on a tipping point, you resolve the effect. Here, draw 2 additional crisis cards. Here, remove 1 tree per player. Here, add 1 carbon cube per player to recent emissions and also remove 1 tree per player. And here you add 2 carbon cubes per player directly to the thermometer. If this means you add 1 more temperature band, roll the die 1 more time. Here you add 2 carbon cubes per player to recent emissions. And finally here you remove 1 ocean per player. Now you resolve the dreaded crisis cards for this round. Start from the lowest card, the one face up. Start by checking who is affected, either all players or a specific player. Here, all players minus the 2 we protected. If more than 1 player meet the condition, they all roll the geoengineering die. The one with the lowest result is the one affected. Read the effect, and if you can reduce it using resilience shields. Sometimes you need to lose cards. Remove them from your hand or your play area. From your play area, they can come from anywhere. If you remove a condition for an action, it remains in play, and if you remove the top card, the next one becomes the active action. You can also remove some of your starting cards. Whichever the effect, if you cannot mitigate it completely, you must pay the difference. You do this by adding communities and crisis tokens to your board or causing detrimental effects. So here, for instance, the player has 1 ecological shield only. It's short of the 1, so must add 1 community and crisis token. Fill them from top left. For each row you fill, you will draw 1 less local project card in the next turn. If a player ever fills up the entire board and receives 1 more, you all lose the game. Also, if you lose resilience, trees, oceans, send them back to the supply. Do this until you've resolved all the crisis cards in play. If you're still alive, it's stage 5, the last one of the round. It's the growth stage, when players check if they have 1, and if not, how much they all increase their energy demand. It's very unlikely your round marker is showing drawdown at this stage, so move it down 1 step. If you were at round 6 and it still shows the timer, you've lost the game. If not, all players grow their energy demand. Check the top left corner of your player board to see how many steps to the right you increase your domestic consumption. And that's all 5 phases of the round. This constant cycle creates a relentless escalating challenge that directly mirrors the compounding and urgent nature of the real-world climate crisis. You're now ready to start the next round. Keep going until you meet a winning or losing condition. To recap, you face collective defeat if any of the following conditions are met during the game. If the global temperature increases by 2 degrees, which is when you place your 8th temperature band on the tracker. If any country or region accumulates more than 12 communities and crisis tokens, or if the players fail to achieve drawdown by the end of round 6. Losing the game can be a sobering experience and is noted to hit harder than you'd expect, underscoring the thematic weight. You'll probably want to try again immediately after your first game, even if that means working really hard to win. The collective objective for players in Daybreak is to achieve drawdown, a state where the amount of carbon sequestered by the planet's system is equal to or greater than the total carbon being emitted by all players. Once drawdown is achieved, players must successfully survive the effects of the upcoming global effects and final crisis cards to secure collective victory. Now, my tips to win at Daybreak are: Your project cards are your engine of change. Experiment with tucking cards to build powerful tag stacks on your active projects, making them more efficient and enabling stronger actions. Don't hesitate to cover a project to immediately activate a new one in the same turn for maximum efficiency. Even though you manage your own board, constant open communication with your teammates is essential. Discuss who is best positioned to contribute to global projects, who needs help with crisis, and how to combine your unique world power abilities for the greatest impact. The temperature track escalates quickly, leading to more frequent and severe crises. Focus on reducing your emissions and increasing sequestration early in the game to avoid an unmanageable cascade of negative events. You must balance your individual world powers needs, like meeting energy demands and managing communities in crisis, with the overarching global goal of drawdown. Neglecting one for the other can lead to collective failure. Crises are inevitable. Plan to build resilience and have options to mitigate their impacts. Sometimes it's about minimizing damage rather than preventing it entirely. And that's how you play Daybreak. It's a truly captivating and challenging cooperative game that tackles the complex issues of climate change with deeply strategic gameplay. Working together, trying to optimize every move is very rewarding and keeps you coming back for more, teaching you about some of the real-world climate solutions along the way. If you find this video helpful, please give it a like, and if you're interested in learning more board games, consider subscribing and clicking the bell to get notified when I post new videos. It's a great way to stay updated on the games I teach, and it helps support the channel. Thank you. I started Games Made Easy with Peter in 2020, and it's been an incredible time, learning many new skills to make the channel possible. I'm very proud of how far it's come and excited to keep growing it. I would like to thank everyone who supports the channel through Patreon, YouTube memberships, buy me a coffee, watching, liking, and commenting. Every bit of support helps the channel grow, and I'm so grateful to have you here. So thank you. If you would like more information on how to support the channel, I've left some links in the video description, and for YouTube memberships, there's a join button at the top right of the channel's homepage. If there's a game you'd like me to teach, leave it in the comments and I'll definitely check it out. We'll make more games easy soon. Bye for now.